Welcome in, everyone, to the Stream Sports Midwest Game of the Week here from Winnetka Ice Arena. Just doing a quick mic test at the moment, and then we will be back with the actual game here in just a moment. Welcome in, everyone, to the Stream Sports Midwest Game of the Week here for Central States. I am Mike Napolitano alongside my new partner, but longtime friend, Hannah Arbitman. Hannah, we have a game on our hands today between the Winnetka Warriors and the Geneva Cyclones here at the Squirt Major level.
We sure do, Mike, and I just have to say I'm so excited to join you today in a completely different role. So feeling confident and ready to go for this game. Both teams look pretty good so far. We'll see what happens once the puck drop comes our way.
We are live from Winnetka Ice Arena. We've got the Winnetka Warriors donning the home whites here. They've got the green striping and the yellow around the darker numbers. On the other side of the action, it is the Geneva Cyclones, as I mentioned. They're rocking their navy blue with the off yellow, almost a gold, so the Cyclones ready to do battle as well. We've got just under a half a minute here to go in warm-ups as everybody's ready to go. Stripes are at the red line. Coaches are lining players up and pucks are starting to get collected. But Hannah, this is your first game here on the channel. What are you excited for?
Just to see the game from a different perspective. I am an in-arena host, so I don't really get the chance to give my hot takes on games during working hours, so this is a really good opportunity to try something different, and I'm very excited for it.
You kind of buried the lead and stayed a little humble there, but you're in-arena host for who? I think we have some royalty in the house.
Some Chicago Wolves royalty maybe. I see you're wearing the Rockford Ice Hogs hat,
oh,
so
yeah,
we can talk about that a little later. We're not off to a good start today. But I do work for the Chicago Wolves.
I totally blanked when I grabbed this hat this morning. I didn't even think about it. But, yeah, of course, those are the two Chicagoland AHL teams. Of course, the Rockford Ice Hogs are the Blackhawks affiliate, so you kind of got to support them. But we love our Chicago Wolves, of course, as well, especially with Hannah in the building. I should have grabbed something Wolves today. I didn't even think about it.
You really should have.
I had a Wolves sweater in my closet, and I didn't even think to wear it.
I think you would have been rocking the maroon and gold.
Yes, I would have. Well, the gold would have been bringing me a little bias towards the Cyclones here today.
That's fair. You have to keep it neutral.
So, yeah, I don't know if but, it's all good.
Well, I'll forgive you this time, Mike.
I'll support the boys out here, yeah. Speaking of which, we have a really good matchup for you, like I stated. We have the Winnetka Warriors, who have played 10 games. They have 7 wins, 2 losses, 1 overtime win, and 1 overtime loss. The Cyclones, they got their first win, but they're still searching and clawing their way out of the cellar. They're sitting at the very bottom of the table. Winnetka's in 6th. Cyclones are in 16th. They've played 13 games. They are 1-11. They also have 1 overtime loss in there as well. So we are all set to do battle. 13 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock here for these periods as we are just about underway here in period 1. Puck is dropped, and we are ready to go here. Winnetka picks up the puck at center ice, and they're in over the Cyclones' blue line. Thrown into the slot, and a collision in front of the crease. And we get a whistle stopping play. Goaltender was not able to play the position, so we will have a face-off.
That was an early whistle for us, for sure. Not even a minute into the period. It looks like some commotion in front of his net. One of his defenders ended up in there as well.
Yeah, it was a good call by the referee to identify that puck did go in the back of the net, but the play had to be called dead before that. Here come the Cyclones now, getting a little speed out of the zone, snuffed out in the neutral zone, and the puck finds its way all the way into the far corner. Winnetka picks this back up, and they will get it as far as the blue line, but kept in by the Cyclones.
Mike, I have to say I'm seeing quite a bit of physicality in this first minute of play here. A couple sticks being thrown around.
Yeah, you love to see that at this level where, they're still, look out, delayed call, and that puck almost found its way into the wide open cage. So Winnetka is going to get their first man advantage here early on. But yeah, as you were saying, Hannah, you don't typically see it at this level with the younger skaters, that you've got that physicality. Most of the time they're trying to figure out how to make that pass or get the puck up ice, but you like to see the aggression and the compete level,
Absolutely.
This faceoff will be in the Cyclones zone here for their first power play of the day. A minute 30 on the power play as the Cyclones go to the box. 12:02 on the clock. Winnetka wins that draw. Shot from the point finds its way wide into the corner, and the Cyclones are able to clear that all the way the length of the ice. Goaltender had thoughts of playing it, but the Winnetka Warriors defense is going to pick that up and carry it out of the zone. Here they come up now on the rush with the man advantage. They get as far as the blue line. They're going to have to set up here along the boards. Skating wide with it. And thrown towards the net, and that is a nice save right there. I apologize, I forgot to give us our goaltenders for the day. That in net for the Cyclones is number 45, Ace Aguilar, who's been making the stops for the Cyclones. He's seen a lot of action. We haven't seen too much on the other side of things, but that is
Arjun Parikh. I hope
yes.
I'm pronouncing that correctly.
I thought it was a 55 at first. 35,
Looks
Arjun
like a 35
Parikh, yeah.
from up here. I was going to say actually about 55. Thomas Sims looks pretty confident so far. Had a couple of good looks with the puck.
Well, that one just hits off a skate in the low slot and stays out, but Winnetka pressuring on this man advantage with 40 seconds still to go until the Cyclones are able to pick this puck up and clear it just to center ice. Winnetka will have to regroup. This is number 13 for the Warriors, Peter McNicholas, that carried that puck in. Thrown to the point now. A shot. Hits the pad and almost finds a rebound opportunity for the Warriors. They throw it back to the point. Playing a little catch along the half wall. Sent into the slot and just past the stick of Anthony Camden. It was a nice setup play there by the Warriors power play, but it's skittered back out now, and the Cyclones are able to take this up just out of the box now, so the man advantage is over, and an opportunity for the Cyclones as they get a little momentum off that penalty kill.
This was probably the first shot on goal Arjun Parikh has seen in this period, and he's looked good so far, but not a whole lot of pressure from the Cyclones on him just yet.
And sometimes that's tough, Hannah, as you're either a goalie that wants to see a lot of action, so you're ready to go, or every once in a while, you get that one that just kind of finds its way through if you haven't seen a puck in a long time. That faceoff was due to an icing. We're back underway here. Winnetka picks this up from the half wall, and a shot almost snuck in near side, but a nice save there from the goaltender, Ace Aguilar. Faceoff will come to his blocker side. That's his right side, near us here with 9:57 to go in this first period. Still scoreless. Cyclones carrying this up now. Dumped in, and they'll give chase. Good pressure below the goal line. Warriors only able to get this up to the point as the Cyclones keep it in. But the Warriors now able to find center, and look out. The defense was pinching at the blue line. It could have been dangerous, but a floating shot from the point is all the Warriors will get there, and we'll get another whistle. Full sail line changes for both sides.
Ace Aguilar has done a great job to keep his team in this one so far.
Yeah, he's seen a lot thus far with that power play and even beforehand. And we talked about that one whistle that the play was blown dead before the puck was actually thrown in the goal. Stick wasn't even down for number 29 of the Warriors. That's James Wilson. But we will play on. Along the glass right in front of us here on the broadcast side of things.
I was just thinking that if this puck flies over, we may get hit.
We'll see. I don't know if we'll have to be able to protect the equipment or catch a puck at the same time. Maybe both. Players collide at center ice. But it is the Warriors that will come up with this puck in a lot of space here in the neutral zone. That's Wilson again, who had taken the face-off for Winnetka. But it's dumped back down by Swanson. of the Cyclones. Tried to throw that in front, just nobody home. Kept in nicely at the blue line with a wind-up slap shot right there, but here come the Warriors the other way. Look out, door was open for the Cyclones as they were changing. And we will get a whistle stopping play. I believe that was an offsides, as both teams will get a change. 8:46 to go here in this first period. Hannah, I know you're used to seeing a lot of AHL action over in Rosemont, but what have you liked thus far about these young guys here? And the heart. We talked a little bit about the compete level, but also there's been a lot of back and forth action as well.
That's a great thing to see, the back and forth action. You never want to see a blowout, but I think just the difference in pace, it's always good to take a step back, I think, and see something different, obviously. And this really puts it into perspective. I realize that everybody who's in the AHL now started similar to this, obviously, and worked their way up. So it's interesting to see, and maybe we're watching a future McDavid. Who knows?
It's definitely possible. We've seen a lot of really talented players come out of the rankings here in Illinois, Tage Thompson being one of them. We were talking a little bit about that last year with the run that he was on, and hopefully get to see him in the Olympics. Look out, a bouncing shot. And that one had to be fielded. I thought the World Series ended last night, but I guess it's still going as Arjun Parikh had to make a glove save like a shortstop there.
It's quite a hit there by number 19 on the Cyclones.
That was Caleb Paulak that had that shot. Maybe he's got to get his batting average up a little bit, and next time that'll go in. Here come the Warriors out of their own zone. Carrying that up is number 13 for the Warriors, Peter McNicholas. Picked up, though, by the Cyclones. And they'll get that as far as center ice. Warriors try to throw that puck back in, but they'll just play catch with the Cyclones defense. Skating up now with pink tape on his stick. You got to imagine maybe that's a little leftover from this past October, Breast Cancer Month. Just good to show the support. That's Henderson moving up with it now, number 77 for the Cyclones. Still on it. A shot from the high slot and another glove save from Parikh. Behind the net now. Thrown around the corner. And the Warriors are not able to clear. Good stick there. The Cyclones keep it in, and another flashy glove save from Parikh. And that'll elicit a whistle with 7 minutes to go. Man, flashing the leather in net indeed is Parikh. He's had to make a couple of them. You talked about it at the start, Hannah. We weren't seeing any action on this end of the ice, and it feels like he's had a flurry of saves in just the past couple minutes here. Puck finds its way to neutral ice. Go ahead.
He's been able to track the puck well.
Yeah, good tracking.
Last couple of shots. He's
good vision as well. Couple of stick handles here, thrown back to the point. That's number 43. Christian
good shot
Johnson.
Up there, lots of traffic in front of the net.
Kept in by the Warriors, but it'll be the Cyclones defense that picks this puck up. Good pivot there to try to puck protect, and oh, look out, a tough angle shot finds its way into the mask of the goaltender Ace Aguilar. And he had to make the save there. Puck is sent back out to center ice now, but Winnetka back on it, throwing this back in. They're onside. Looking to go to work. And stick tied up at the blue line. A couple players go down. It stayed in momentarily for the Warriors, but here comes the Cyclones. 5 white sweaters around just one lone man. That is Mikey Henderson of the Cyclones, and he's still got that puck deep. Gave his team time to change. Look out, collision at center ice, and the Cyclones are back in. A shot from a wide angle. Not sure if that caught a piece of Parikh, but that went wide. Winnetka was down low with it, trying to get out of their zone. Pinched off along the boards. Here they come now from their own defensive end. Skating up with it in front of the benches now. Pinched off momentarily, but still on it into the attacking zone. A rising shot, I believe drew iron right there, but stayed out. Thrown back to the point. Back along the half wall. pivoting with it and throwing it back to the point are the Warriors. Trying to keep this puck in the offensive zone. We talked about how the Warriors have the better record here, and the Cyclones are struggling to find wins, but these last couple minutes, they've done a nice job in the defensive zone, and they've had some offensive pressure. Look out, here's a shot from the slot, though, and a second opportunity, third opportunity for the Warriors, and that one wouldn't go in. Standing tall was Ace Aguilar, commanding the crease. D-to-D pass at the point. Floating shot, that goes wide. Down low. Warriors number 57, that's Audrey Brash. Throwing it to the point. And throw it back into the original corner it came from. Warriors really putting the pressure on now. Good puck protection in the corner from James Wilson. Thrown back all the way down. Audrey will give chase, but not catch up in time, but good pressure keeps that puck in the zone. Cyclones couldn't clear. A secondary opportunity for Brash at the doorstep, and that just wouldn't go. She pivots with it out of the corner. A shot hits a skate leg of a defender, and it's still loose. A second shot. Where is the puck? They're looking for it, and finally we will get a whistle, but the Warriors putting on a heck of a lot of pressure right there.
That was fun to watch for sure. I want to talk about Audrey Brash for a second. The only girl, I think, on this team.
Yeah, we see a lot of co-ed teams at this level, but
that's right.
You know, just a few girls until they move up and maybe go to an all-girls team. But that's one of the great things I love about Central States is that, you know, you have the inclusivity. And she showed that she could play with the boys right there.
There's actually Colette Alagna, I believe I'm saying that correctly.
Oh, look out. A secondary opportunity as the rebound came loose at the doorstep, and the Warriors put it away. So they will break this scoreless tie here. I believe that was number 13 for the Warriors. That is Peter McNicholas that was just sitting on the doorstep. That went off the pads of Aguilar, and he just cleaned up the trash there. 1-0 Warriors. As we are down to the last 3 minutes and 28 seconds of this contest. You had to imagine with the pressure they were putting on there that they would finally get something. But we had seen the Cyclones have a lot of pressure in the previous couple minutes. So it's been a back and forth affair and really still anybody's game with just a goal separating these two. Puck came back out front in a dangerous area, but the Cyclones able to clear, and they'll go the other way, but I think it's going to be the Winnetka defense that catches up to that one in time. It was still in front of the crease there. Could have been dangerous. Thrown back to the point by the Cyclones, excuse me. I apologize, we may have just lost our camera here. We are powered in, not sure what is going on here. Let me take a look at this for a second.
I want to take a second to admire Winnetka's defense as they've kind of taken the pressure off their goalie and helped him in a couple circumstances there the last couple minutes of this period.
Yeah, definitely so.
Making his job a little bit easier. And it has to feel good to get that first one in the first period. You obviously have a lead coming into the second, but we could still see another goal here with just about 2 minutes remaining in the first period.
Anything is quite possible here. As we've seen, as we were mentioning, this affair go back and forth. They should be back there. Apologies for that.
It's a good effort there. And a save by Arjun Varek. Looks like
Oh, wait,
looks like
are they
that was
awarding
a goal
here. As we are getting back underway here, apologies for the technical difficulties momentarily. But, yeah, I'm not sure, Hannah. I think the whistle had gone after that puck had already crossed the line, so they are going to award the goal there. So the Cyclones have evened this game up. We saw a little bit of a belly flop celebration at center ice.
Yeah.
I think that...
it's like a good boat row.
Yeah.
I liked that. I just didn't see that puck go in.
I didn't either.
At all.
And I heard the whistle cut the air as we were getting things back underway, but wow, I was not sure that was that was what they were ruling there. But we are evened up at 1 here after just about a full period of play. 1:20 left to go here in the first period. Warriors back in the zone, though, looking to respond quickly, but they won't get a chance that opportunity as this puck comes back down into their zone. Wow, I know we were adjusting the camera there for a second, but I'm not sure what elicited that whistle. But, I mean, I guess the puck had already found its way across the goal line beforehand. Maybe the referee just hadn't seen that, but the other one definitely did. That's why you have a two-man system out here, so that, nobody's perfect. You have a team working with you, as that is another stoppage there from Harit. He'll glove that one, and we'll get a face-off with 45.1 here to go in the first period.
And if I'm not mistaken, this is the first face-off in his zone this game.
I believe so, yeah. There might have been one other windmill glove save that had a face-off in there, but for the most part, you're right. Everything has been either in the neutral zone or down in the Cyclones end of things. And we will get an icing call here. We had a player with palms up as Winnetka looked like they were going to be the first one there, but it's still, at this level, an icing call. That was Reese Barnett that was a little confused about that one, but face-off will come to center ice. Referees talk it over. 34.6 to go here. It'll be number 19, Caleb Pollack, in the draw for the Cyclones. They're going forward with it in the attacking zone. Over the blue line again with just 23 on the clock, trying to make something work here and build a little momentum off of that game-tying goal that they just scored. But here come the Warriors the other way in the offensive zone. Staying with it is the other number 19, Camden Anthony. And the Warriors not able to clear this out. A shot had to be sticked away by Aguilar at the buzzer. So after one period, we are deadlocked at 1 apiece between the Warriors and the Cyclones. We'll be back with more Period 2 action right here on Stream Sports Midwest. We are back underway for Period 2 here between the Winnetka Warriors and the Geneva Cyclones in your Central States Game of the Week. Myself, Mike Napolitano, and Hannah Arbitman on the call. We've switched sides now, but the Warriors going back to what was their defensive end for offensive zone time here in the second period. Keep that in nicely at the blue line. But it's the Cyclones that'll take that out to neutral ice.
Collision here along the board.
Yeah, we've seen the physicality that we talked about in that first period continue here at the very start of the second. And it's the Warriors that'll carry back out with it now. Over the blue line is, oh, look out, that came in front, and the Cyclones defense just whiffed on the attempt, and that could have spelled danger for Geneva, but into the zone. That was 79, Max Moltz for the Winnetka Warriors. Throwing it back out into the high slot. Good stick check there, but still had to be blockered away by the Cyclones goaltender. That is Ace Aguilar still in net for them. And this puck is sent to neutral ice, but it's the Warriors that'll pick things up. And we get a late whistle there for offsides. This will come back out of the zone. A little bit of argument from the benches and even from the fans on that one, but I believe that was the right call, just a late whistle. Sometimes you got to take that extra second to really evaluate what you saw, and that's perfectly okay. It's within the rules.
Now you can tell Winnetka is not very happy about that call. Some commotion both from the coach, from the fans in the stands, but we are
back underway here. 11 minutes to go in this second period. It'll be that top line that scored the goal for Winnetka out there. Cyclones desperately trying to get this puck out of their end. They'll carry up, knifing through a couple of defensemen at the blue line. Pollack not happy he went down there, but no sticks in the skates, so we play on. That one, I think, rung off the mask. Something about that net down there and going off the goaltender's mask. We saw one in the first period. Now again here, that one went off of Parikh. And here comes the Warriors into the zone again. Good pull up there by number 71. That is Oliver Easthope. Puck protection in the corner and along the boards leads to this puck coming all the way back onto our side, but it's the Cyclones that'll pick that up. Greenwald finds a teammate, but that just sneaks over Henderson's blade, and Winnetka is back out of their own end with it. 2-on-1 for Winnetka if they hurry, but it's an odd 2-on-1, heavy on our near side. That one is shot wide and goes off the glass, but kept in at the point. Thrown down low, and Winnetka will get a quick two-man change right there. Thrown in front, the shot. Brash couldn't get a lot on it. She was stick-checked in the low slot. And here come the Cyclones if they hurry. Oh, good stick, though. Good stick by both players. It originally looked like Winnetka was going to pick that up, and then Henderson found a way to still get in the offensive zone. That puck is thrown across the crease, but Winnetka able to clear the danger and move back out with it.
It's interesting to see how there have been a couple shots in this period where they've tried to connect with teammates, and there has been a player from the opposing team come in between that shot. So just...
yeah, things can get crazy here at this level, especially, and even as they go up through the ranks, but you never know what you're going to see, especially when it comes to changing possession, puck changing hands. Thrown in front, but a Winnetka stick there to clear the danger. Not completely out of the zone, though, as, oh, now it is. It'll come to the blue line as the Cyclones will look to regroup. Too many blue sweaters in the vicinity as Winnetka's not able to move it forward initially. Thrown all the way back down. Geneva trying to go up the boards and out of their own end. And that puck finds its way to center ice. Look out, could be numbers for Geneva. A shot and a save, a rebound opportunity, and yet another opportunity that I believe went wide. Geneva putting on the pressure there on that rush.
there was that connecting pass that I was talking about earlier. Nobody was in the way. That was what could have been a great play if that puck had gone in, and still was a great play even though they weren't able to produce any offense on that. But a lot of action out of Parikh.
Another scramble right there in front of the net, and still able to flop on that puck and keep this one deadlocked at 1 goal apiece. Really great stuff there from Parikh. He gets a couple of high fives from his teammates as they'll line up for the draw. That'll be to his right side. That'll be his blocker side. It'll be number 95 in the draw for Winnetka. That's Avi Mann.
Mike, I don't know if you caught it, but Parikh just tapped his
posts. Oh, maybe getting a little help from the iron there.
Absolutely, thanking the iron.
Thanking his closest friend right there. But standing tall nonetheless. Cyclones get this back out to center. And they'll dump it back in to try to go back on the attack. It's going to get picked up by Winnetka first, though. Thrown all the way around the boards, but not cleared out. Greenwald not able to keep it in at the point, and here comes Winnetka the other way. Sent in off the referee's skates and down into the zone. They're part of the game, too. Kept in at the point. Oh, not kept in at the point, and this puck finds its way out. Look out, here comes some speed from Geneva. The Cyclones, a shot had to be blockered away. A nice rising shot there from Mikey Henderson. In the high slot. A couple of sticks whacking away. A good opportunity. Good recovery, though, from Winnetka, from their goaltender, keeping them in this yet again.
I feel like if I'm going to say anything, it's going to be about how great Parikh has been in this game, just really keeping his team in it. That shot from Henderson was a good one, and the way he read that to keep it out of the net was very impressive. You
talked about his tracking earlier in this game, and he did a nice job there, especially because that shot came from the low slot after a good stick battle there between defender and attacker. And next thing you know, that puck's right on the doorstep, and he keeps this game still deadlocked. Thrown down low. Winnetka going on the attack now, and a back to front pass. That was low to high right there, and Winnetka, they find themselves in the lead again. Nothing that Ace Aguilar could have done. That was point blank right in front, and after a really nice push from the Cyclones, the Warriors are back on top.
I know we briefly talked about the Cyclone celebration, but I did just see the goal scorer flash a little 6-7 action there. Made me giggle for sure.
That has become quite the popular, I guess, occurrence, meme type of thing, especially throughout this age group. But man, yeah, that was a really nicely constructed play from Winnetka after a long shift in their own zone. I know they got some fresh legs out there, but still to be able to respond that way. And look out, skating right and shooting left and just drawing iron. That was a nice way to slot that puck in. That was number 11, Dominic Naders. Really nice solo effort there that could have extended the lead here for Winnetka. Actually, Naders is a right-handed shot. I don't know if that was him, thinking back on it now. But that was a really nice play to get that puck into a shooting position, change the angle as you're skating left to go right with it. There's another rising shot. That just goes wide. 5:20 to go here in this second period. Kept in at the point. Sometimes that's tough, but changing that angle right there in front of the net, that's huge. We see that a lot with the Austin Matthews toe drag release shot that we also see right here in Chicago with Connor Bedard. It's becoming ever so popular. Another low to high opportunity is snuffed out by the Cyclones defense, and this will come all the way back down into the Winnetka end for an icing. 4:49 here to go in the second period. Winnetka Warriors ahead 2-1 in this contest. But we saw a lot of good things from the Cyclones just recently. Unfortunately, the momentum swung right back the other way for Winnetka. Fortunately, though, if you're Winnetka. The home side keeps this puck in the offensive zone. Picked up in the slot, turnaround shot. That one just hit Ace Aguilar as he went down. Able to track it, and Brash is on the doorstep. It's underneath a skater, trying not to cover it. He can't do that. It's got to be the goaltender, and he does. We'll get a whistle. Might have been some argument from the Winnetka bench about the defender being in the crease covering that puck. That's tough to see at this level because you're going to see a lot of scrambles down low in that opportunity.
I think I'd have to agree with the coach on this one. He was down there for quite a bit trying to, from what it looked like, trying to stay over the puck. Not many people were able to get their sticks under him, but they were definitely trying. So that was an interesting play and definitely the right reaction, I would think, from the coach.
You're not wrong. I mean, oh, and look out. That one just poked through, and we get a nice little slick back archery celebration there from number 71, the goal scorer, Oliver Easthope, as he extends the the Warriors lead as Winnetka takes a 3-1 lead over the Cyclones here in period number 2. You're right, Hannah. I mean, at this level, I mean, you're going to have some players that fall down and can't necessarily get back up, especially in a tight position like that, but it's the deliberate, you know? You don't want to be that guy that covers the puck, but you also want to keep it out of your own end.
Of course.
And, bend the rules a little bit here and there as long as you could get away with it. It happens. It's within the game within the game. But, yeah, you want to play within the rules for sure. And, unfortunately, the puck didn't lie there as the puck found the back of the net right after the stoppage. Winnetka going back to work in the offensive zone. Cyclones pick it up now. Pink tape for all three forwards here as they enter the zone. Dumped down low. And Winnetka picks this puck back up. They're skating out with it. That is number 43 going wide with it. A rising shot from Christian Johnson that finds its way all the way back out of the zone. At the red line, they battle for it there. Geneva struggling to regain possession of it. This is sent back into the offensive zone for Winnetka. The music started going for a second there. I don't know if you caught that on our broadcast, but we're still playing on. And, oh, look out. Tough angle shot from Walter Smith, and that one just grazes the chest piece there. Cyclones pick this puck back up after a collision at the blue line, and they'll get an offensive opportunity here. Rising shot had to be blockered away and then gloved down by Parit, who hasn't had a lot of activity here in this second period.
Once again, I'm very impressed by Parit. I mean, the way that he was able to obviously takes that shot up high and then come down low so quickly to keep it out of his net as he's already getting some offense from the Cyclones. I thought that was very impressive.
Especially on that one, as you kind of mentioned there, he made the save up high, and then it had to be a blocker save, so the puck's still sitting there in the crease. So like you said, Hannah, I mean, he drops down and has to still cover. His job's not done. Look out, that one came in front as well. So getting tested here late in this second period, 2 minutes on the clock. The Warriors are in their zone, but Parik standing tall for them to keep that 3-1 lead intact. Askins at the blue line, stick checked, and here come the Warriors the other way, getting into the offensive zone with the puck now. It's sent back out to center. Turning with it and losing it in the slot, but having some help there are the Warriors. In front of the Geneva bench. And here come the Warriors again. Thrown back door. That was a really nice job by number 19 of the Winnetka Warriors, Camden Anthony, to take two defenders with him and then throw it back to where he came from. But nothing doing. There's that one off the glass that Hannah was ready to catch there. That could have been coming to us in 4D.
I think I've said before, I'm pretty sure in the past life I was a goalie myself, so.
Flash the leather in the booth. That one comes on net and had to be saved. And it was gloved momentarily, so we'll get a whistle It looked like Aguilar did try to play it afterwards, but the whistle had already cut the air. So 56.3 to go here in this second period. 3-1 the score line in favor of the home side, the Winnetka Warriors. That'll be number 29, James Wilson, in the draw for Winnetka against Caleb Pollack for the Cyclones. Another rising shot that's gloved and held by Aguilar. 51.9 to go. We'll do it all over again. Still to his right on the blocker's side. Same two gentlemen line up for the draw, and that puck is stick checked, and the shot finds its way into the corner. And thrown up in front. If they hurry, Geneva has an opportunity here. Stick checked on the outside shot. Winnetka's defense will pick this up with under a minute to go here. Just looking to clear their end, maybe get one more rush. Brash takes that puck in, but it was number 29, Mr. James Wilson, who was a little eager, just got across the blue line there before she could carry the puck into the zone, so an offsides call. And we'll have the face-off right in front of us here. Henderson will line up for the draw with James Wilson. One back by the Warriors. 20 seconds to go here. And another whistle cutting the air. I believe that was another offsides, this time on the Cyclones. So face-off will stay in front of us, but the other side, the other dot. Henderson and Wilson lining up again. Wilson's taken the last few for the Warriors here.
Henderson has had some great moments in this game. Very quick on his feet. He's produced some great shot opportunities. And
wow, look out, what an opportunity there. That was thrown in front, and a high IQ level positioning and shot from number 71, Oliver Easthope. That looked almost NHL-esque as he was trying to whip that one into the back, but Aguilar shut the door. Keeping it at 3-1, Hannah, you were talking about Henderson's game for a second there.
I just was going to say that I'm also quite impressed by him. Very quick on his feet. Has created some great chances for his team. Unfortunately, hasn't been able to score in this game just yet, but we still have an entire period coming up, so.
A lot of hockey still to play.
I wouldn't be surprised if he finds the back of the net.
Definitely so, and he'd need to get one to get his team back into it a little bit, as the Cyclones are down 3-1. Another 13 minutes on the board. We won't step away because we got only a little bit of time here before we get underway here for period number 3. And we will just keep you locked in here. We saw an initial goal from the Warriors that gave them a 1-0 lead. Then the Cyclones responded with what seemed like a fluke of a goal, almost like the whistle had cut the air a little too soon, but was already signaled that it was in the net. And then the Warriors, they looked like they were pinned in their own end for a little bit. And next thing you know, it's the Cyclones that are looking down the wrong end of the score line here, because Winnetka finds two very quickly. Some nice setups there. We've seen a lot from that top line from the Winnetka Warriors, which is I think a mixture of the man who was just taking a number of face-offs, James Wilson. We've also seen a lot from number 7, Walter Smith. And here we are for period number 3. It'll be Avi Mann to take the draw for the leading Winnetka Warriors. He'll line up with number 77 Henderson, who Hannah was just talking about. And the third period is now underway. 13 minutes to go. And here's a quick opportunity. Oh, off the post for the Cyclones. That could have gotten them within one, and a quick goal in this third period would have sent a message. But unfortunately, the iron kept that one out. Winnetka going back to work here. Shot hits the stick and stays out. Aguilar has stood tall for when he's needed to for these Cyclones, but they're still trailing 3-1 here. Winnetka out of their own end, playing catch with the Cyclones defense, and just a stick blade away from the Cyclones. They're back into the offensive zone now, but the initial rush was gummed up. Henderson, that shot, and gloved down and saved. A little bit of extra pushing after the whistle as the goalie was touched, but we'll get a face-off. 12:06 to go here in period number 3. So the entire contest hinges on these last 12 minutes. Just a 2-goal lead for Winnetka. And there's a face-off win for Geneva, and a shot snuffed in the low slot. Here come the Warriors on a partial breakaway. Try to go forehand to backhand and just poke checked at the last minute. Nice job by Aguilar. Kept in at the point by the Winnetka defense. Puck floats up into the air, not able to be shot on net, so they'll regroup behind the net. We did see a low to high goal from the Warriors in that second period. They won't get the opportunity there, and that puck finds its way out, but look out, 2 Geneva players collide as they were desperately trying to clear the zone, and Winnetka's right back in. Moving in with it now, has a man in the middle, a backhand opportunity, and a diving Aguilar keeps that one from crossing the line.
I liked Harrington trying to help out Aguilar there when he was down for a second.
Oh, look out, that just goes off the skate of Aguilar. And as you mentioned, it was a collective effort there, Hannah, and still nothing going into the back of the net there. Aguilar stands tall.
Seems the aggression is rising for the Cyclones as they're trying and just unable to break through Parikh on the other end to even get their puck out of their own zone, unfortunately. So this has been a pretty physical game, as I said, pretty early on.
You'll start to see at any level the frustration mount a little bit as you could feel the seconds ticking off the clock, and you know you're within reach of the game still, but of course you still have yet to find the back of the net one more time to even in this case get you within one. So Geneva is probably feeling that pressure a little bit, especially trying to get into the win column again. As a collision at the far blue line brings us back down into the Geneva end. Look out, a turnover, and that could have spelled disaster. Hopefully, or luckily, Aguilar kept that out. Warriors still on it there. There's Brash in the corner, putting the pressure on. Swanson finally able to clear for Geneva. And this will come all the way down just far enough for icing. 10:15 to go here, as we'll come back all the way down into the Geneva end for a face-off. .15 here in the third period. Both players stepped into the draw. It's Winnetka that wins that one. The home side has looked dominant here amidst maybe one or two quick breaks for Geneva here in the third period. Thrown all the way back down, not far enough for icing. They were past the red line. So the Warriors will have to play this from their own end. Not able to get up the half wall there.
Somebody lost a glove. I'm glad he found it. That was quick.
I believe that was number 81. That was Cody Haskins for the Cyclones, and yeah, good to pick that one back up. Official is going to get this puck back underway, or this game back underway by dropping the puck right in front of the Winnetka bench after the offsides by the Cyclones. Moving back in with it now, though, are the Warriors. A shot near side had to be padded away from Aguilar. Another shot from the point from this Warriors squad, and that finds its way behind the net. Good puck protection in the corner. Warriors keep this alive. They turn with it, moving towards the net. A rising backhanded shot through a couple of bodies, and I think there was a secondary opportunity there that the Warriors just couldn't find as the puck was rattling around. Thrown back to the point now. Thrown back to the half wall. Down low again. Cross ice pass. Tried to go dot to dot, but too many Cyclones in the vicinity, and they'll pick that puck back up and come out as far as center. Trying to get some offensive zone time here. It'll be back in the hands of the Warriors. Flipped off the boards and back to center. Geneva can regroup. And this puck stays in the Warriors' end. Thrown in front and gloved down by Parikh, who hasn't seen a whole lot of action once again here. Got some extra pushing and shoving after the whistles. I don't think we're going to be getting a call here, but referees separating the two sides after, once again, I believe it was the goalie that was touched. And of course, teams are not going to take too kindly to that.
Quite surprised there was no penalties called on that one.
Yeah, it could have been a little bit of a slash or, a little roughing after the whistle, but referees elect to keep this one within their own control and not dole out a million penalties right away. 8:12 to go here in this final period. Geneva gets a much-needed win on the draw, but look out, taken away at the point. Moving in with it now are the Warriors. Centering pass. That was a beautiful opportunity. Great centering pass from number 55, Thomas Sims. And
a great effort there by Audrey Brash, too, to get it to Sims.
Yeah, this has been quite the contest. We've seen breakaways both ways. If you notice, a little bit of a short bench for this Cyclones team. So the fact that they're even staying in this game has been impressive. They only have an extra 5 skaters. So if it's not line 1, it's line 2. That's what you got here today. And that one thrown off the pads of Aguilar. Kept in the zone, though, by the Warriors momentarily. Here come the Cyclones. Warriors keep this puck in center ice as the Cyclones thought they were going to get some offensive zone time there. Turned over low in the Geneva end. Warriors go to work. A nice shot, but down with the pads is Aguilar. We'll get another whistle. 7:13 to go here as the Warriors will get another full sail line change. I believe they have 3 lines on the day. As you see another 5 skaters on the bench when the other 5 are coming off, and the last 5 are stepping out onto the ice. A little bit more of a fresh legs advantage there. It's been a difference of 2 goals in this game for the majority of it. And we get another whistle. That'll be a hooking call right in front of us. And we will get yet another power play on the day. This time it looks as though we're going to have the Cyclones headed to the man advantage. It's number 95, Avi Mann, who finds his way to the box. So a huge opportunity here for the Cyclones if they can find the back of the net.
I'm just taking a look at this penalty box, and I realize it's more like the end of the bench. Kind of like you just get put in a corner for a timeout and not more so a penalty box. But
right, yeah. Yeah, you
take what you can get.
Still talk to your coaches
yeah,
and
getting
everything.
some supervision there from the coach.
Typically, that's a little bit more of an advantage than you'd like with a player in the penalty box. But the Cyclones, Hannah, they really need this power play to go well for them here. Maybe, of course, you'd like to get a goal, but maybe even just build some momentum with 7 minutes exactly to go. They've started the clock after that faceoff. They did not start the penalty time. So we're still sitting at 1:30, but 8 seconds of that should be ticked off the clock because it was right at 7 minutes.
Seems the coaches are noticing that too. There is some commotion on the bench there, walking over to the timekeepers, probably to get that resolved.
Luckily, the referees should be keeping their own time here. but that's still not moving on the scoreboard. But we do have 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go, so it should be just one more minute on the power play. Luckily, that power play happened right at a nice round number, so we know that it'll end at the nice round number. It'll be 5 minutes and 30 seconds on the regular clock when that player can leave the box. Cyclones still trying to sustain some zone pressure here on the power play. A D-to-D pass at the point. That puck gets thrown down low. Just 20 more seconds on the man advantage as the Warriors pick it up and are able to clear as far as center. It'll be picked up by number 55, Colette Alagna, excuse me. As Winnetka picks this puck back up again in their zone, and look out, a shorthanded opportunity actually as the clock expires, and a shot, he scores! Skate left, shoot right. And that was number 41 for the for the Warriors, Reese Bennett. That finds the back of the net just as that power play expired for Geneva. And it is now 4-1 in favor of the Warriors. And as we were saying, Hannah, Geneva really needed the momentum there at the very least, and unfortunately, just as Winnetka kills that power play, Geneva surrenders another goal, so the momentum is all in favor of the Warriors at this time. Look out, here comes Geneva, though, a rising shot as they were stick-checked. Cyclones desperately trying to get this.
We talked about this earlier, of course. Geneva only has 5 people on their bench.
Yeah.
That is 2 lines of players. We see an entire roster here for Winnetka. Winnetka has a lot more time in between their shifts to regroup, get it together, and come back out, score another goal if they really need it, which at this point, 4-1, I think we understand how this game is going to end for Geneva, unfortunately. But just, I think, the advantage of having so many more players on their bench has really been the difference. And another goal for Winnetka.
Once again, it's Reese Barnett on the back door. Beautiful spot, beautiful finish. And yeah, Hannah, I think, some of it that the Cyclones should hang their hat on is the fact that, you get a power play late, but you still don't have as fresh a legs as the team on the penalty kill. And they already had that lead, and we talked about the momentum that the Warriors got from killing that power play and immediately coming down on a breakaway and scoring, and they're just showing how much that has paid off. But like we said, if you're Geneva, you got to hang your hat, hang your head high a little bit, because you battled for the majority of this game with a very tough Winnetka Warriors team. But looking on the home side of things, the Warriors have done a nice job of just shutting down anything that the Cyclones have tried to build upon, whether it's momentum-wise. We've seen another break right here, and we'll see what happens. A nice glove save. Oh, but that does find the back of the net, and there's that Henderson goal that you were talking about, Hannah. Rowing the boat again.
That is very deserved by Carter Henderson. He definitely has had quite the game, and really glad to see him produce.
That is huge for the Cyclones. I mean, it's back to just, it's 5-2. It is a 3-goal game, but, I mean, any little bit that you could chip away here with 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go. I've seen weirder things happen, but if you're the Cyclones, you got to try to build off of that still. The job's not done. Huge goal right there for Geneva. As I was just saying that, Winnetka has done a nice job of shutting down any kind of rushes, any kind of momentum that Geneva has tried to build here, but not on that opportunity. They still have the lead, though, 5-2 in favor of the home side, the Warriors. Time is on their side, but still a lot to be played here with 3:13 to go. Rash dumps this puck in. Thrown back the other way by the Cyclones. It'll be a player chase for this puck. Good stick lift there. Turning and trying to fire with it out of the corner is Geneva, but not able to find anyone there. Kept in at the point nicely.
By a skate. I don't know if you caught that, but that was pretty impressive.
That was the skate.
Just right off the skate and back to another teammate.
Alagna keeping her team in the offensive zone right there. Another rising shot. Almost found its way to the back on her shot as well. But here comes Winnetka the other way. The Warriors could have a 2-on-1 late in this game. A rising shot hits the defender and comes back and hits the near post.
That was close.
Another puck lost in some skates at the blue line. And Winnetka couldn't get into the zone immediately. Collision at center ice, and the Warriors are back in possession. They'll try to regroup. Puck comes in front of the benches. A couple of players go down, 3 aside as they battle for it in front of the Warriors bench. Geneva back in the zone. Late man shot from the high slot. And that is saved, and a couple extra hacks and whacks. Both teams taking exception to the shoving after the whistle. Not sure if we're going to be getting a call here, but the faceoff will come back out of the zone, it seems. We are going to get a penalty on the Geneva Cyclones. That is number 19, headed to the box, Caleb Pollack.
That's a fair penalty. After we saw them jab the goalie a couple times, Puri came out of his net. Kind of questioning why they were touching him, as I'm sure were most of his teammates, but
you got to hear that whistle. You got to realize that that play is dead. Otherwise, you're going to sit for 1:30 at this level. 1:46 on the actual clock, 1:30 on the penalty clock. So for the majority of the rest of this game, it'll be Winnetka on the power play. They already have a 3-goal lead. Trying to center that pass, another low to high opportunity. That's a play that you draw up. It worked for them earlier on 1 goal. Thrown back into the zone. And
of course, at this age, controlling your emotions might be challenging when you're trying to find the back of the net in what's not really a close game anymore in the last couple of minutes, but the last thing you need is a penalty.
Yeah, you talk about that discipline is definitely an aspect. And this could burn you. Look out. Here's a shot. It hits the post and stays out. That could have been the hat trick for Reese Barnett. Just hits off the goaltender and off the post. We've seen lots of iron in this game. Almost a shorthanded opportunity for Geneva as time winds down. 46 seconds to go. Going wide with it. Trying to center are the Warriors. They're just kind of taking this power play opportunity as a chance to play 200 feet from their own net. They already have the lead. Barnett looking for that hat trick, though. Elects to center that one. Team player right there. That's kept in by a skate blade and a shin pad. But the Cyclones will clear this the length of the ice, and with about 15 seconds to go, it'll be an icing. 13 seconds to go. This puck will come all the way back down into Geneva's end. They're trailing 3 goals, so that'll pretty much wrap this game up. But Hannah, this was your first call. Thoughts on what we saw here today, and thoughts on the entire event?
Well, I'm lucky to have seen such an entertaining game. So I think that definitely adds into it. But on my end, there is a lot of room for improvement, that's for sure. But for it being the first time, I'm pretty satisfied, I think, Mike. Your feedback is always appreciated. And, of course, fans, if you have any feedback, you can leave that in the chat, and we'll look at it.
Absolutely. You know, the greatest thing about this is time expires, and your Winnetka Warriors, the home side, get the 5-2 victory. We'll get the handshake line for you here. The best thing about it is, Hannah, just as the coaches, just as the players, that's what everybody thinks of first and foremost, are learning and growing in their craft, we are up in the booth here too. So everybody, it's a learning experience for the fans, for the coaches, for the players, and also for us here at Stream Sports Midwest. But absolutely phenomenal work today, Hannah. Thank you for joining the team. It was a pleasure to get to broadcast with you, and it's been a fun one. Looking forward to more in the future. For those of you at home, thank you again for tuning in for our Stream Sports Central States Game of the Week here from Winnetka Ice Arena. Hannah, any last thoughts?
Mike, thank you for letting me come on, and thanks for putting up with me today for the last hour and a half. Always a pleasure. Fans, thanks for also putting up with me for the last hour and a half. Hope to be back.
Absolutely.
And hope you have a good Sunday and the rest of your weekend.
Exactly. We will be here on the channel probably next weekend with more action. You can check in with the social media, whether that's Stream Sports Midwest or Central States, as we bring you more coverage of your players. If you would like to set up a game here with Stream Sports Midwest, either contact your coaches and your team managers, or you can email us at streamsportsmidwest@gmail.com. But that'll wrap it up here for us today. Winnetka with the 5-2 victory over the Cyclones. For Mike Napolitano and Hannah Arbitman, signing off. Thank you again. We'll see you next time.